what we're going to do today, we're going to have a look at the throttle linkage, make another bracket. The customer's given me a go ahead to do that. But if you remember in the last video, I noticed that the coolant was down and I topped it up. I put nearly a gallon of coolant in, well 3.5 litres or whatever it is over here. And it's still down. Down. It's been on the lift for the last few days. I've never seen a drip, a drop anywhere. I've got a piece of hose here. We're going to keep going down. There. So from there, it's down to about here. So, two schools of thought. It's losing a lot of water internally, which I very much doubt it, because if we start it, it should hydrolock with all that water going on. Or, that heater's been put in at the back and not bled through. I'm thinking the latter, because that's too much water to lose, or coolant to lose. I don't know what that noise was. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the liberty, while the coolant's down, to have a look at the thermostat and see if there actually is a thermostat in it. I've got the thermostat out. There was no gasket on it, somebody just put sealer on it, so obviously there's been a problem with it before. Don't know whose make it is. Is it a Waxstat one? Yeah, it's a Waxstat one, and I think it's 88. The only one I've got here is a Waxstat one, and that's 82. Yeah, 82. The number's stamped right at the very bottom. Now what is interesting, well, if you're still interested, I don't know. Let's have a look. Down here, I've got the temperature sender out. I've cleaned it up in the wet bead blaster. I've connected a ground to the ground, and it's on cold. Now before, it went straight to hot. Why was that? I don't know. Let me just double check it, make sure it hasn't crept up there. Oh yes it has. It slowly crept up to hot, so we can safely say with the engine stone cold that that is buggered. Well, now I'm even more confused. I have a box of thermostat senders here. Well, this one's got a white plastic top on it. That usually signifies what temperature range it is. Now I've got one set up here with a white plastic top on it, and you would be thinking, hurrah! There. But the top's a different size, and this one had a washer on, and this seals on a cone, on a tapered seat, and I can't see down there. What a mess this can't. No, it hasn't got a tapered seat, so that one's out. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I want to get this running. Oh, I've got another one here. I've got another sort of dirty one. Let me clean this one up and see what it's like. So there we have, cleaned it up in the wet bead blaster, that came up nice. This one here has stayed at cold. So let's try this one, see if this one works. This one's looking promising because it's got the shoulder on it. I think we might just use that one. This one, oh wait a minute, no. Which one's which now? Oh, that's a blue one, that's alright. It's this one, the white top one. Let's go and have a look, see where it's going to get it. See, that one's not gone on to, that one's just gone on to C. We don't really know which one it is. So I decided to put the thermostat I've got into the car. I'm going to test it in a minute, but I just wanted to show you a little thing about gaskets, because this is the Commoner Garden V8 gasket. Fits on there like that, eh? Good, isn't it? However, if you look, well, you won't be able to see, but when you look closely down here, there is another hole going into the manifold, into the intake manifold. So I had to knock up a gasket like this that covered over the hole, because if you put that on, it's going to leak. So the thing what we're going to do now is we're just going to clean up the face of this housing here. It's really sort of mucky and messy, but you know, it's never a good sign when people put silicone on and it leaks. So we're going to get all that lot off. A bit of emery cloth is good for that. Now, am I going to put any sealer on that thermostat? No. Why? I'll put a bit of grease on it this time, because I might have to take it off again. See what I mean? If I put sealer on and it sticks and clags up, then I might have to make another one because it might be broke. And it is Land Rover after all, so it won't work. Right, so I've got the engine started. It started at first bat. That was good. Now this time I'm going to record the thermal imaging, and I can work out how you do it. Oh, camera, video. Right, let's go now. I have to do that to synchronise them together. So we've got, where's the thermostat? There's the thermostat. It's showing 48 degrees, 50 degrees on the thermostat here. And when I come across here, it's 24. Ambient temperature 24 in here today. Lovely day today. So it seems to be, if you look at the picture, that the thermostat isn't opening yet, which is a good thing. Now, I'm going to leave this running a little bit, and we're going to go and have a look at the temperature gauge. And the temperature gauge is absolutely in the red again. So obviously there's a problem with the sender or something, because if I look at the manifold, it's showing 62 on the manifold down here. This basically where the thermostat is. Again, when we're looking at the temperature gauge of the thermostat, we've got 41 on this side of the hose here. Oh, I better put the cap on. Oh, there's pressure, isn't it? Now that is very odd. I don't know if you saw that. Observe this hose when I revved it up. Wait a minute. Watch very carefully. That's suction. Now, I'll check the hose here. I'll check this hose, this is clear. Was it air? I hate this because I have to keep running all the way around it. It looks like the top hose, the thermostat has opened. Indeed it has. It's showing 74 degrees now. 64. What's the bottom hose like? 58? Shouldn't be that off. Wait a minute, what's going on here? So the thermostat's open, yet the bottom hose is at 62. We've got 63, 62 at the bottom hose. Sorry, I'm all excited. And we've got 64 here. That radiator. But it's cold as a cucumber. Is it the water pump? This is weird. That thermostat, that radiator is cool. Oh shit, I've got my hand stuck in the radiator. Now, is it the water pump? That bottom hose is hot, hotter than July. Stevie Wonder. Going through that radiator, even with this viscous fan on that doesn't seem to... Oh, it's had a new viscous fan. That is weird. That is very, very strange. So we know the thermostat opens, but why is it pulling vacuum on that hose? What's it like for pressure? Nothing. Bottom hose is 61. Now usually when the top hose is the same as the bottom hose, it usually means there's something wrong with the radiator. Usually. The temperature gauge is soaring up the top. Yeah, what's the temperature of the engine now? 80. Yeah, it's in the red. So back from a cup of tea. I was trying to work this out about the top hose collapsing, because just before I left and I shut the camera off, I started it up when it was hot, because I know the thermostat's open because I can see it on the thermal imaging camera, and it collapsed again. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to do the same test again, but this time with the radiator cap off. I'm just thinking about something. So, what do you think's the answer? I tell you what I'm thinking. I don't think this water pump can cope circulating all the coolant round that big heater at the back. So you know what I'm thinking about doing? Putting it back to standard. There's a hose. You see, it's very difficult to show you. There's a hose coming from the back of the manifold to the heater. If I can point it. There's a hose coming here up to the heater, and then it goes back round. Now these heaters are full flow heaters. There's no valves or anything like that in them. Is it getting hot? Yeah, it's hot. But when it comes back to the pump here, is it too restricted? So wait a minute. Water will come. Let's see where this path goes. How does it get? Is this the inlet? No, that's the back of the pump, so that's got to be suction side here. It's got to be suction side. That's got to be poly. So we know that hose is good, but is it because it can't pull a vacuum? But then again, the bottom hose would have collapsed, I would have thought. The bottom hose is a lot more solid than this blue thing here. You can hear coolant. And this this vehicle's always had a problem with losing coolant. Always. Like always as in centuries. I don't think it's the cap. I don't think it's the cap. I don't think it's leaking either. I'll tell you what, let me get my pressure tester out and we'll check it. So I found a cap that fits here. And it's supposed to be, what's it say on the cap here? 15. Let's pump it up. It's like one of those vacuum developers, I've been told. If there's a crack in the block or anything like that, this will find it. Right, so how does it work? Well, there's the gauge pumped up to 15, or thereabouts. It's just off the green. So we're going to leave it a few minutes and check my post, and then we'll come back. Well, it's been about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's perfect. So we can safely assume that there's no cracks, leaks, gaskets gone, anything with this. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Now, is it the cap? Well, I don't know. Let's pressure out. So, can't test the radiator cap. Have I got a spare one? Well, if it still vacuums with no cap on, there has to be something wrong with floor. Moral of the story, don't throw anything out. Here's a nice little hose. I'm going to try and fit this and recharge this battery. Now, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I think we're onto something. I've bypassed the rear heater. The top hose now has got pressure in it. That's what we were missing. We didn't have pressure. You know, like coolant pressure, when the water expands, it should be hard. Look at that. Nice and hard now. No collapsing. Now, is it because the hose is going front to back? There's so much soft rubber in. They're expanding, I don't know. But obviously it fixed it. Yeah, that's really... The thermostat's open, it's up to pressure. I don't want to open the cap, but I bet it's up to pressure. And it's not blowing anything out of the overflow holes. Yeah, so that was it. It wasn't getting under pressure, so it was vacuuming. And of course the water had to go all that way round to the back. It's way back there, it must be 10 feet back, so it's 10 feet there, 10 feet back, it's 20 foot of hose it has to go through. Had they put that heater where the cubby box is, then you might be having a fighting chance. And do the hoses in metal. Well, there's my day gone. It's 10 to 4 already. Spent all bloody day on this. I think that deserves a refreshing study. So where was the water going? Question, isn't it? I don't know. radiator's warm, top hose is hot. Have I got my thermal? I think I'll put the thermal image in the camera away. But I'm sort of kind of happy with that now. It doesn't take much to make me happy, does it? The hose going a bit weak, wimpy. We'll keep our eye on it. But the moral of the story is sometimes when you put accessories on, you can cause more problems than you're trying to solve. Got to go, Barry's coming to Kent.